Real quick question. How did you meet the last person you liked? Maybe it was a dating app. Maybe a friend introduced you. Maybe you just happened to be at the same place at the same time. Now here's the thing. Every single one of those options requires something ancient humans did not have. No apps, no phones, no restaurants for a first date, no flowers you could just order online, no way to slide into someone's DMs, no way to even send a message without walking directly to that person and saying it out loud in front of everyone. For 300,000 years, every single human being who ever fell in love had to do it in a world that looks nothing like ours. And here is what nobody tells you about that. It was not awkward. It was not primitive. It was not random. Ancient humans had a system for finding a partner that was so embedded into daily life, so natural, that modern dating experts are now studying it and calling it one of the most effective social structures ever documented. So what exactly did they do? How did you go from stranger to partner when there were no restaurants, no apps, no private messages, and absolutely nowhere to hide? Let us go back, way back, and find out exactly how ancient love actually worked. Part 1. The world they met in. First, you have to understand the world they lived in, because it changes everything. For most of human history, you did not swipe through hundreds of strangers. You knew everyone. Your entire social world was a group of 15 to 50 people. Same faces, every single day. From the moment you were born until the day you died. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford University found that hunter-gatherer groups maintained an average band size of around 30 to 50 people, which means when you developed feelings for someone, they already knew your name. They had already seen you work. They had already watched you handle difficulty. They had already eaten food you helped gather. There was no such thing as a first impression, because there was no such thing as a stranger. In the modern world, we spend weeks or months trying to figure out if someone is genuine. Ancient humans already knew. They had watched that person every single day for years. Part 2. How attraction actually happened. So how did attraction actually work when everyone already knew everyone? Researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer societies found something fascinating. Attraction in ancient communities was almost never about looks alone. It was about usefulness. Not in a cold way, but in the most human way possible. The person who was calm under pressure. The person who made the group laugh. The person who worked hard without being asked. The person who was generous with food, even when they were hungry themselves. These were the attractive qualities. Not because ancient humans were more noble than us, but because in a world where survival depended on the people around you, character was the most visible thing a person had. You could not fake it, not in a group of 30 people who had watched you every day for years. Anthropologist Helen Fisher, who spent decades studying human attraction, found that the biological signals of attraction were identical across ancient and modern humans. The increased heart rate, the inability to stop thinking about someone, the motivation to be near them. The feelings were exactly the same. What was different was the context. In ancient life, there was no hiding those feelings either. If you liked someone, the group noticed, before you even admitted it to yourself. Part 3. How they actually came together. So feelings existed. Everyone could see them. Now what? This is where it gets genuinely interesting. In most hunter-gatherer societies, anthropologists found that couples came together through a combination of mutual signaling and community involvement. Mutual signaling looked different, but familiar. Sitting closer to someone than necessary. Finding reasons to be near them during daily tasks. Bringing them a slightly better portion of food. Making them laugh when no one else could. These were the ancient equivalents of texting someone at midnight. And the community was not just a passive observer. In many documented societies, older members of the group actively facilitated connections. Not through arranged marriages, but through creating situations where two people could interact more, assigning them tasks together, placing them near each other during group events. Think of it as the original wingman, except the wingman was your grandmother, and she had been watching both of you for years, and had already decided you were compatible, long before either of you figured it out. And consent? In most forager societies, women had considerably more say in choosing a partner than they would have in many civilizations that came after. Anthropologists studying the Hadza of Tanzania found that women in the group largely self-selected their partners, and separation when a relationship was not working was socially accepted and common. The complicated rules around marriage, the dowries, the arrangements, the restrictions, came later, with farming, with property, with the concept of ownership that walls and settlements introduced. Before all of that, it was simpler. You liked someone, they liked you, the group noticed, and life continued, together. Think about how much of modern dating is designed to solve one problem. How do I find someone genuine in a world full of strangers? Ancient humans never had that problem. They were surrounded by people who already knew them, who had already seen them at their worst, who had already watched them be kind, or selfish, or brave, or afraid. There was no performance, no carefully curated profile, no first date version of yourself that is slightly better than the real one. Just you, fully visible, every single day. And someone who had been watching decided they wanted to stay close. We have built an entire industry around finding what ancient humans had built into the structure of their daily lives. The apps, the algorithms, the profile pictures, all of it trying to recreate what happens naturally when you actually know someone. Maybe the most sophisticated dating system ever invented was not an app. Maybe it was just a small group of people living close enough to actually see each other. For 300,000 years, love did not need a platform. It just needed time and proximity and someone willing to pay attention.